Next, I want to spend a few minutes and get you to think a little bit about plant nutrition. So, what minerals do plants need from the soil in order to carry out all of their physiological functions? These trees are definitely on my bucket list. The truly special, the spectacular baobab trees of Africa and the island of Madagascar. So the trunk diameters on these massive deciduous trees, which are kind of like ecosystems unto themselves, diameters on these trees can reach 36 feet. They are truly massive. So, as massive trees, how do African baobabs keep their seeds from germinating in their own shadow, where they would be shaded out by the parent tree and have to compete with the parent tree for limited resources in the soil? In other words, how do baobabs disperse their seeds? And this is going to tie back into plant nutrition, I promise. So, trees like the baobab make fruit to encourage animals to eat said fruit. And remember, the fleshy fruit is just the ovary of the angiosperm with the seeds inside. And in eating that fruit, the animal then moves the seeds to new locations. The plants are using the animals to disperse their seeds. Not only does this help expand the plant population, but it prevents those seedlings from competing with their parents or suffering from any of the pathogens that may have accumulated on their home turf. But here is the especially relevant part. Seeds lucky enough to be eaten by a large animal and then dropped into their new habitat, encased in a big lump of nutrients, animal feces, including things like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are often the limiting elements to plant growth. Lucky seeds are more likely to germinate and more likely to survive. So, for some species, just passing through the digestive tract of an animal itself increases the percentage, the probability that that seed will sprout. Male elephants have been shown to disperse baobab seeds almost 40 miles from the parent tree. If you've ever looked at the ingredients in Miracle-Gro or one of the other brands of commercial synthetic fertilizers, you'll find that they're rich in those limiting minerals. Things like nitrogen and phosphorus, as well as other elements that can cause a host of physiological issues when they become deficient, such as calcium and copper and zinc. So plants depend upon mineral-rich soils, and yet rainforests, like the Southeast Alaskan temperate rainforests, which is a spectacular ecosystem, those rainforests have very nutrient poor soils. If that's the case, how do Sitka spruce and western hemlock get so massive in these temperate rainforests? Well, it turns out studying the growth of large trees, like these giants in Southeast Alaska, has revealed surprising ways in which ecosystems like those rainforests and distant oceans can be highly connected, highly interdependent. So check out the Deep Look video below.